Good morning. Welcome to Business Growth Accelerator Live. These are simple strategies for serious business owners who are wanting solid results. I want to tell you a story. I was out with a great client yesterday. These guys are just running a fantastic business. And we were talking about goal setting. Now, I know the first thing you're going to say to me, hang on, Pete, it's January. Why the hell are you talking about goal setting now when you should have done it last year? Which we did with most of our clients. However, these guys were unable to do the goal setting until now through various things. There's COVID and all this sorts of stuff. So we did it yesterday and had a really, really good session. And they brought up a couple of thoughts that I thought I want to share with you today because, as you know, this is our goal setting sheet, which we use. I've just got picked out the financial one at this stage. And over the page, of course, is our actions. And I just wanted to go through today how we're going to set goals, because as I went through with the guys yesterday, there's a couple of things that came up that I must remember that and share it online. So with all goal setting, of course, we have our SMART strategy. SMART standing for specific, measurable, achieve or acting as if, R is results orientated, and T is timely. And of course, we've got to have our the emotion and the reward in there as well. So smarter goals. But the first thing I want to do is that, you have your big goal or your big barg, your 10-year goal. Let me just write some stuff here. So we have our barg, our 10-year goal here. And these then relate down to our 5-year goals. And these, of course, then split out into our 1-year goals. 1-year goals. Like that. And of course, these ones then split out. Let me get rid of the chair. That's a waste of time at this stage. And then these then split out to our 90-day plans. Okay? 90, 90, and 90. And you'll quite fairly say to me, well, hang on, Pete, you've spoken to us often about why we're having 10-year goals and 5-year goals with the way that the world is at present. And I go along with that. Okay, but we've got to have something to work towards so that we break it down and come through for our 1 and our year goals and our 90-day plans, which are really, really important. So we were talking yesterday, and they've got their idea of the 10-year goals, and they said to me, Pete, aren't things going to change? And I said, yes, they probably will. All right, simple as that. But unless you've got something to drive for, you're not going to get anywhere. So at least have that goal. And interestingly, that these guys, in the next 10 and 5 years, need about 1.5 million, all right, to achieve this 10-year goal. And but that, 1.5 million, that's so big. How do we do that? And I said, great point. Really, really good point. Break it down. So 1.5 million for, it was over 8 years actually for them, worked out that they needed a £187,500 each year, worked out to £15,625 per month, all right, which we could actually start to put in here. And they said, oh, okay, that makes sense. But I said the really important thing is that goals are not linear. Okay, they don't just step like that. So every month you're not going to earn 15 grand and put it away, 15 grand and put it away. Goals, let me go to the page here. Goals are like this. All right, we may not start until 6 months' time, and then we'll go along, and then it might go up a bit and along, and then it might dip it down, and then up, and it carries on and up and then down a little bit. It's just a little bit like the share market, I suppose. But the thing is that when you make a start, you can actually start heading towards your goal, realizing that they're not linear. Now, here's the other thing that I want to say as well, is that when you're setting your goal, and this is the first part of it, okay, when we're setting our goal, which I'm showing you here, all right, the goal, all right, and we only have one goal. People make the mistake of making too many goals, and we need to act as if that it's already happened, so it's in our subconscious. So instead of the normal goals of, to make £300,000, what we actually do, and this is what we write, it is now January 2023, and I have in my bank account $300,000 Pounds, tax free. That's acting as if. It is now January 2023 and I have in my bank account £300,000 tax free. Okay, once we've done that, then of course we go to the next stage. All right, what are the limiting beliefs that I have, or what are my beliefs about this? And that, the beliefs might be that money is good. Money is good. All right, I like money. Those might be your beliefs. Limiting belief, though, all right, the limiting belief might be that it's hard to get money. All right, that I'm not good enough. We need to put these limiting beliefs down so that we understand what might be inhibiting us. All right, so we've done the goal. And remember, it's only one goal. Don't make lots of goals. The next part. All right, what are my values aligned to this goal? And this is really important. What are your values? And if you don't know what a value is, go and look it up, because it's something that you hold to be true right now. And for my guys yesterday, and this is what I love about them, they're as honest as the day is long, and that's why they've got such a really, really good business. So of course, their values that came up, all right, and I'm picking two of them, was honesty. And I tell you, I can't fault them with their honesty. They're just absolutely amazing. And they have integrity. Alrighty, so this is these are a couple of values that they put down, which were really, really good, and is exactly them. Then we went to the next stage, of course, all right, and we looked at what are the behaviours that you need to do to have more of to achieve this goal. All right, their behaviours is that they needed focus. They needed to be accountable. What was another one they had? Consistency. So they wanted to be consistent to achieve their goals. All right, so we put all that down. Really, really good stuff. Then we went over the page, of course. I asked them to write down the goal again. And then we had to look at the actions. Right? And they started to get a bit waffly here. And I said, no. What is it that you need to do to achieve this goal? And so the actions would be that they're going to have a meeting every 2 weeks to discuss and plan. That's a great action to have, because you're going to put something in place. Another one I think was one of the goals is to get some extra money. They were going to pull, in fact, it was £16,625 each month into a different account. It may not start next month. That's absolutely fine. It may start in 3 or 4 months, but they've got it sitting there. It's the action that they're going to do. And on the sheet, I've got 5 little clouds. Now, as I said to them, you may not fill in all the 5 clouds. That's absolutely fine. Don't try to. You might have 7. Once they've done that, I then ask them, are there any new behaviours as a result of these actions that you've seen that you haven't put over on this page? So they had to think about it. Were there any new behaviours? All right. To start with, they started to put in some of the behaviours from here. And I said, no, you've already got that. Are there any new behaviours? So there were none there. At that stage, we came back to this first page, and I said, write in your belief then about you achieving this goal. This is the emotion and the reward attached to it. And they put that in there. And then I said, what's the last thing you have to do, all right, to actually be accountable? And quite fairly, they said, we've got to sign it off. I said, absolutely. You sign it off and date it, because that's your commitment to yourself and to each other for doing it. We then did the second goal. And guess what? They went back to old behaviours, in the fact that when we started to look at the goal, they started to write to have or whatever. No. In fact, they wrote it out, and then I said, great, rip it up, throw it away. And they said, excuse me? And I said, yeah, act as if. One of them said, it is now January 5th, 2023, and I said, now you got it. And I tell you, we roared through that second goal, and they've done them all now, which is really, really good. But it's really important that you understand goal setting and how to do it properly and how it is achievable. Because if you do the old ways and you try and do lots and lots of goals, you just don't get anywhere. I invite you that if you'd like to understand goal setting, please get hold of me. Ask me and I can go through that with you. Certainly there'll be a little investment to make because when you actually invest some time and money into something, you're going to achieve more from it. So I'm going to put that right out there. But I can guarantee you that if you follow this goal setting that I've given you here, you're going to be incredibly successful. And here's the other corollary too, that we reviewed these guys' goals from last year. And of the 5 goals they had, one for each, they had their financial professional, their financial personal, they had their professional goal and their personal goals. Right. Of the 5 goals, they had smashed every one bar one, which they only got halfway through. And they didn't really do too well on that. I said, wait, hang on. How come we're focusing on what you haven't done when in actual fact you've completed 80% of what you set out to do and achieved more than what you had actually written down here? And they looked at it and they said, you're right, we have. Yeah. That's the power of goal setting because they were also looking at it and watching it. They hadn't looked at it over the last couple of months because of coronavirus and all the other stuff, but they were stunned when they looked back to realize what they'd done. Goal setting, fundamentally important when it's done right and it is adding value to your business. If you'd like to know more about this, please come and talk with me. I can help you with your goal setting for you personally and for your business. Remember, these are simple strategies for serious business owners who are wanting solid results. Talk again soon.